Imagine a world where your mind is a cage. Every debt you owe, every grain of wheat you sell, and every star you track requires a grueling, manual labor of the brain. For thousands of years, humans were the only calculators that existed. But biological brains have limits. We tire, we lose our place in long columns of numbers, and we make mistakes. To escape that cognitive prison, we spent 5 millennia trying to build a mind out of metal. We needed a way to offload the friction of arithmetic onto a physical object. This is the 5,000-year journey to build a mind out of metal, a quest that connects early mechanical gears to the very AI speaking to you right now. This Roman pocket abacus shows us how early mathematics was a physical act. The word calculus actually comes from the Latin word for a small pebble. You solved problems by moving stones or beads across a board. As ancient empires expanded their trade routes, pebbles were too slow. The volume of transactions created a bottleneck, forcing merchants to find ways to automate repetitive tasks. In 1642, a 19-year-old French prodigy named Blaise Pascal watched his father, a tax collector, labor over thick ledgers. He wanted to eliminate tedious work. This is the Pascaline. Made of interlocking brass gears, it's the first time a physical object stored a mathematical rule. Look at the dials. When one wheel finishes a turn, a tooth catches the next, carrying the remainder automatically. Decades later, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz expanded the scope of mechanical logic. He determined that all complex logic, every thought, law, and star, could be distilled into just 2 states, 0 and 1. By defining the binary system, these early inventors proved that logic and memory could exist outside of a living human brain. In the 1800s, calculation was survival. The British Empire relied on mathematical tables for navigation. Because these tables were calculated by hand, they were full of errors. Shipwrecks were literally being caused by typos. To remove the human element entirely, an inventor named Charles Babbage designed a machine to compute tables and directly stamp results onto printing plates. This is the realization of his difference engine. These vertical shafts and precision-cut iron gears show the heavy industrial effort required to mechanize complex thought using steam power. But gears have speed limits. During the code-breaking efforts of World War II, engineers required faster answers. This is the Curta calculator, a marvel of mechanical engineering used by engineers in the field. Eventually, the volume of data forced a shift to electricity. This photograph shows operators wiring the ENIAC. It weighed 30 tons and used humming vacuum tubes that occupied an entire room to run calculations. We removed the human mind from the equation, but we replaced it with a machine that consumed entire rooms and blew fuses constantly. The physical mass of calculation collapsed in 1947. This is a replica of the first transistor. By using solid material to control electricity, engineers removed the need for large, fragile vacuum tubes. Once logic was etched onto silicon, the scale shrank. By the late 1960s, computing devices moved from filling rooms to sitting inside a user's hand. Look at the HP 35. With its glowing red display, it put the power of a giant mainframe into a shirt pocket. Engineers reportedly wept when they first held it. With the arrival of the pocket calculator, the daily labor of arithmetic moved from the human brain to the circuit board. As these machines became cheaper and more powerful, they vanished. We stopped seeing them as miracles and integrated them into the background of our lives. We carry devices that would have made Charles Babbage faint. Yet we rarely notice that a standard phone executes more calculations in a second than a 17th century accountant could finish in a lifetime. Today, we use this same lineage of logic to simulate global climates, render digital worlds, and train neural networks. Every tap on a screen connects back to Roman merchants moving pebbles in the sand. We built these tools to free our minds from the cage of repetitive logic. Now that the cage is open, what will we use our freed minds for next? What's one piece of old technology that still fascinates you? Is it the mechanical click of a typewriter or the spin of a rotary phone? Let me know in the comments.